Hey, everybody. My name is Jared Budlong. I'm running as an independent candidate for governor here in the state of Alabama. We are a traditionally deep red state. And thankfully, the governor's race doesn't matter in that regard. It's a popular vote. So I'm running as an independent, and I'm here to reach 1.4 million voters who were registered in 2020 who decided not to cast a ballot. And from all the ones that I have talked to, they're just frustrated with the system at the very least and decided not to cast their ballot because they didn't think it mattered. So, a bit of education there that I keep having to point out and keep wanting to point out is that your vote does matter at a state level. Every single vote counts. If you are seeing this on everywhere but TikTok, the title probably says something that is not accurate. Not sure what's going on. We are switching a meeting that was supposed to be a private meeting to a public meeting, and either technical difficulties or something came up. Haven't heard from my guest, but I didn't want to have a scheduled event not go live. So we're going to go ahead and go live and just chat for a bit. May only be half an hour or so, but I didn't want to waste the opportunity of having blocked off my schedule for a bit. So we're going to chat and hang out for a little bit. So if you have questions, you're welcome to put them in the comments. If you're here, if you're on TikTok, put them in the Q&A box, please, so that I can keep track of them. The comments get a little wild at times, and it's hard to keep track of those as they flow past the Q&A box if you want to actually ask me a question. Let's do this. So while we're waiting on people to show up, I am going to go over a few things. So I am running a grassroots independent campaign in Alabama. So what that means, a large portion of that is making sure that we get in front of a lot of people. Like I said, 1.4 million people didn't vote, and those are the ones that I want to reach out to. So a large part of that is everybody sharing this content. So if you're seeing this and you don't like our current options for governor in this state or the way it's heading in general, please let somebody know. Check out my profile, check out my campaign. If you're seeing it on TikTok, check out the videos there. If you're seeing it on one of the other platforms, if there are videos available, meaning everywhere but Twitch, because those eventually go away. Check out the previous videos that I posted. Check out the website for more details there. And then, if this platform aligns with you, especially if it aligns with you more than the other candidates, I would love your support. So we're going to need a lot of work before November, and that's why we're doing this regularly. I run a transparent campaign as much as possible, so we are streaming all of our campaign meetings. We're streaming those live to as many platforms as possible. So the only one that we can't do at the same time is Instagram, because I use TikTok preferably. It reaches a broader audience more easily. Instagram, you got to be a follower for it to really people to really find you on there for most of the content. So let's see, those meetings are Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for our policy meeting. So if you want to talk about anything about healthcare, education, or the prison system here in Alabama and how we can and would like to address those issues, that's Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And then on Saturdays from 9 to 10, 9 to 9:45 or so, we have our campaign strategy meetings. That's literally us talking about what we want to do for the next week or so to reach more people, get more donations, depending on what the focus is. But that's our Saturday at 9 o'clock meeting. And then from 10 to 11 or so, we have a meeting that's about field organizing. So a part of reaching more people is boots on the ground, so to speak. And that is our 10 to 11 meeting. So we welcome you to come to those. If you don't resonate with what we're saying, you do not have to show up to those. But if you want to help out by giving your voice and your opinion, and let us know what you think we should be doing different, or what we should be considering, I have a very limited perspective, and I'm fully aware of that. So I want to make sure we are being as intersectional as possible. I think is the correct term for that situation. I want to make sure we are thinking about all of the possible outcomes and aren't overlooking some major glaring issues that could affect our residents if we try to enact some policies without thinking about some areas. So TikTok, I want to see, I don't think we have any Q&A questions yet. I think somebody asked something earlier, but it's not in the Q&A box. So I would appreciate you keeping the Q&A box. Jason, keep commenting. I appreciate you. You stay in there, keep doing your thing, and keep putting in those comments. I thoroughly appreciate them. They do nothing but show TikTok that I am worth engaging with. You are one of the reasons that this platform is amazing. So thank you. Keep that up. Erica, I'm going to scroll back. If this gets if the comment threads get long, I may not be able to keep up. So please use the Q&A box. But while we're building up the stream, plan for dealing with climate change. I don't have any direct impact on that. In fact, the biggest contributor to climate change is petroleum products and those being used, and that's actually the federal government and they specifically the military. So I don't have any major contributions that I think we can affect in our state. Now, there's some things that we should do that protect our environment, but not necessarily climate change specific. That is a much bigger issue than Alabama can solve. Stop cow farming. Jeez. Jason, stick around. Stick around. Cool. Yep. And Doom Whispers, thank you. I think that was genuine. I hope it was. Nathan, you do you. I'm not going to read it out loud because I'm on other platforms, but you do you. Keep commenting. It's cool. Evelyn, thank you. I hope you are doing well across the pond, so to speak, or across all the ponds. I hope everything over there is going well. Doom, cool. Okay, just making sure. There's a hard to read sometimes. Hard to read the room occasionally. So, yeah, if we don't have any questions, then I mean, TikTok, you're only going to be able to hear it. But actually, we do have a Q&A. Cool. No, Nathan, you literally do nothing but help me. You're good. You keep commenting. Don't threaten people's lives and don't say anything overtly racist, and you'll probably be okay. If you ignore anything that like a boundary that I said, I might mute you just because like sometimes we have meetings that have a purpose, and when people get distracting, I have to mute them. Otherwise, we get off topic. But tonight's not one of those nights. We are wide open right now. Yeah. Thoughts on addiction crisis centers in Alabama. So that is not something that I am super familiar with, but I know that we need more, we need better quality healthcare, including addiction healthcare. Like if we're talking about legalizing drugs in our state, then we have to make sure that people who have addiction problems are covered. So that's something we have to do. And I've got kids who are about to go to bed and they keep coming back in here to say goodnight. So good night. I love you. You go sleep good. I will see you in the morning. So yeah, healthcare. If we're going to do anything about the drug situation in our state, we have to make sure that those who have substance abuse problems are taken care of, because we can't just make them legal. I'm going to turn the camera off on the other stream. Hold on, guys. I need you to go to bed. Like I'm in a meeting. And you for real need to go back to your room and go that way, please. Now, I need you to go that way, please. You don't understand? I need you to go that way, please. Why can't I go that way? You're in your underwear. Go to bed. Okay. Healthcare. I can turn the camera back on. You guys have a very small window into what was going on behind the scenes. Kids that are getting ready for bed, and it's summertime, so I'll just say it's hot, and we'll leave it there. And thank you for letting me take care of that real quick. Martha, yeah, relatable. It's the kids. Yeah, no, super relatable. All right, so addiction centers. I know that our current governor has talked about adding additional mental health centers, but I don't know that we've specifically talked about addiction crisis centers. But, we are not immune to the opioid crisis that happened, and that that's one thing that we have to think about and address, and that's definitely a part of healthcare. Immediately, the biggest concern for me is making sure we can get Medicaid expanded, and ideally get it to cover as many people as possible, so that we can get people at least the basics and being covered for some stuff. Like, I know it's not perfect, but as a state, we don't have unlimited spending. Like we have taxes to worry about, so the immediate thing would be to do the thing that is feasible, right? So, we can take the additional funding for Medicaid from the federal government, and they pay for 90% of it ish, and we would have to cover the other 10%, but we'd find some way to save that money, like, or reallocate, right? So we'll take a look at it. We got a decent chunk of money to work with, and if there's no immediate free tax sorry, not free, but tax money that we can free up, we could look at, taxing things that aren't going to affect people directly, not the people. So there's a couple ideas I have. It will make some people mad, but the average person in the state will not be mad at those decisions. But those are more some more drastic decisions if we need to go there. Don't really want to, but if necessary, we'll make sure that people are taken care of. Let's see. I think we've got another Q&A question. How are your numbers looking from my point of view? I mean, so we don't have real polling, so I have no idea. But we're what, 130 days out, somewhere around there. What's our you know what? Let's check the website because there's a countdown clock on my homepage to remind everybody how many days before the general election. 129 days. Sorry, we're actually below 130 now. So we have 129 days before the election, and that's time. So we need to get in front of a lot of people, and as long as we continue to show the rest of the state that I actually care, like I'm here to make sure people have a better life, and that means everybody. Some people don't think that I want everybody to have a better life, but I literally mean everybody, and I mean that on a personal level. Like there are people that will be impacted by decisions that get made, and they may not like them immediately, but it is for societal better good, which means they will be better off in the long run. They may not like the immediate answer, but they'll be better off for it in the long run. So numbers wise, we have a long way to go. We do. Let's see. Dad moment, addiction issue, related to mental health, accessible mental health care. Yes. Yeah. We've got to help get better healthcare access. And that's more than just like the insurance side. Like that's actual places for people to go to get healthcare, like hospitals, because we've had to shut those. I say we've had to. Some of those have had to shut down in our state in the last few years. So, BCS, what's going on? Hey, I tell you what, I will. Oh, you have more than 1,000 people. Do you want to jump on here? Oh man, people won't be able to hear you on the other platforms though. Hey, Martha, I think you're the one that's still watching on Facebook. This hold on, TikTok. This the guest that I had planned isn't here, and I haven't heard from them. So I think I'm just going to end the stream on the other platforms because I don't have a whole lot to actually talk about. I'm on TikTok right now, so if you want to jump over there, we're going to have a random conversation on TikTok at this point. And there's somebody in there who's been wanting to have a conversation. You know what? Hold on, BCS. We're friends, right? We're connected. Martha, hold on, stick around for a second. I know that's going to take like 30 seconds. Don't leave yet. BCS, do you want me to send you a link to your messages so you can jump on the other conversation so that everybody, every stream can see, or do you just want to do TikTok? I'll leave it up to you. So you're the one who wanted to jump on previously. Drew, good to see you too. Solid if you're still in here. Thank you for jumping in. Let's see. Stance on Roe v. Wade. Hold on. There's some shenanigans coming through. Yeah. Stance on Roe v. Wade. I am pro-abortion, not just pro-choice. If you want or need an abortion, you should have access to that. There are some interesting things happening at the city level in other states that myself and a few other people want to get together and discuss. That while it won't reverse the law that our state passed in 2019, there may be some ways for us to mitigate the harm that it does. So we're looking at that based on some stuff that other cities are doing in other states. Arizona is one of them. They're making some news. Effectively, it's them telling their DAs to deprioritize abortion processing. So it's like, hey, yeah, technically it's illegal, but like we have bigger problems. Go focus on those. Don't focus on this, and it'll mitigate some of the harm of the law. And that's something we want to look into. Not entirely sure how it will work at a state level rather than a city level, because again, the government doesn't have a whole lot of power, but we got some wiggle room in there, so we're going to look into it. That's one thing we want to look at. And Ron B, I'm not going to put yours up here because that's not a question. I will address it though. If you enjoy voting for a color rather than beliefs or policy, then you're welcome to do that. I personally would rather vote on policy in ways that are going to help people. So Martha, it looks like BCS is going to jump on TikTok, so you won't be able to hear them, and it's going to be a one-sided conversation. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream everywhere else, and then TikTok, you get my full attention. So, Martha, thank you for jumping on real quick, and hopefully, Spiritual Southern Mama will be able to jump on in a future live. Not sure what happened tonight, but hey, life happens. Kids in the background earlier, so I will see this platform or those platforms